Welcome back to The Goose Goes South, Episode 5. It's good to be back on the road again, and now with new crew member Hutch, as Tenley had to go home for a few appointments. Our next port of call was Wrightsville Beach, where I was going to meet up with Jeffrey Nathan, who I'd sailed with in 1990 when he was a young kid. Jeff wanted to take me for a ride in his whaler and show me the barrier islands north of Wrightsville Beach with some photography in mind. Late light, beautiful scenes, and boy, did we ever get that. He did well. After a great stay in Wrightsville Beach, our next stop was Safe Harbor Southport, where we needed to get out of the weather, some rain, and get the outboard sorted out. One thing I never get tired of is the beautiful colors, the clouds, and the formations in the sky as we chug along down the ICW. The next stop for us was the Wacamaw River, which is a river of about 140 miles long and traverses the eastern part of South Carolina and the southeast part of North Carolina. It's a slow-moving blackwater river surrounded by vast tracts of wetlands and forest, all almost impenetrable unless you are prepared to take a chance with alligators and have a very low draft or shallow draft kayak. This area came highly recommended from friends and from the guidebooks as one of the highlights and one of the most amazing places to explore and stop on the ICW. We were not disappointed and ended up spending 2 nights on the anchor in various parts of the river. In the 19th century, there were large rice plantations along the lower banks of the Wacamaw River, worked by enslaved Africans. So we're exploring here a little bit, off the beaten track, listening for banjos.
I'm looking for gators.
Nice old piece of wood there.
Are alligators cold-blooded?
Yeah, it's a reptile.
Yeah, so they must be feeling a little sluggy.
Cypress?
Yep.
Got it.
Bald cypress.
Nice. Beautiful. Okay, wow, that's so cool. Like old man hair.
You should know. That's pretty dark, though. I think yours is a little more,
I was just saying to Hutch, it looks like my hair, but he says, your hair's not that dark. And mine's a silvery color.
Yeah.
So there we go.
A bit more like that.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. But I don't have the stick in it. Yeah,
Oh.
very cool. That's beautiful. Perfect. So quiet in here.
That is truly part of the thing that I like most.
The quiet.
The quiet.
Yeah. That moss is beautiful, hanging on the trees like that, man. Jeez. We had perfect conditions for a nice little photo shoot of Snow Goose from the tender. And of course, with no wind and grey clouds, it worked out perfectly. And then, look at this for a beautiful sunset and a great ending to another wonderful day in the Wacamaw. Well, good morning from the Wacamaw River. It's the second morning we've got here. And we decided to spend an extra night here. It was just so beautiful. And it hasn't let us down this morning. It's let's have a look where we are here. 7:15 on Friday the 18th of November, and it's 33 degrees in the morning, so it's a frosty morning. Little ice, a little dew on the deck, on the teak. Haven't seen that this trip yet. Hopefully we don't see too much of that in the future. So the sun's coming up, as you can see. It's just starting to hit the tops of the trees behind us. And there's a little mist on the water, so it should make for a nice picture. I've also been casting my rod around a little bit, just who knows. There seems to be bass and crappies, and I don't know what a crappie is. It doesn't sound very nice, but maybe worth a shot. After a nice couple of days here on the river and this bit of paradise, it was time to leave. Up the anchor, wash down the chain and the anchor, and head on back to the ICW. Well, this is what greeted us as we got back onto the ICW, a massive flock of white North American pelicans. The North American pelican is a bird of about 4.5 to 5.5 feet on the wingspan and weighs about 14 pounds. These birds were riding the thermal above the ICW and at times were way above the marsh, so I guess that's where they got their lift from. But it was just ballet in the air. It was incredible to watch, and it was so hard to put the camera away and not keep shooting. It just didn't end. The next port of call was Jeremy Creek and McClennanville, where Donnie had kept us a spot.
I'm Donnie Murray, and I run the dock and the gas pumps down here at Jeremy Creek. It's very new to me though, 90 days. But you know, I take care of the boaters and the shrimpers and the fishermen that come through, whatever they need. So it's kind of busy right now with the transients and shrimping season going on. Yeah, so I stay busy here.
McClennanville lies about 38 miles northeast of Charleston and has a population of about 1,000 people. It survives of fishing, oystering, and shrimping.
So I'm Kim Livingston. This is Livingstonville's Bay Seafood, and we farm clams and oysters. We just started doing oysters as an oyster co-op with some other oystermen locally here in McClellanville, and these are our seed that are getting ready to go out in bags. So we bought these from a hatchery in Florida when they were very small. They were like a bag of sand that we paid a lot of money for, and we kept them in these tanks. The water is pumped right from Jeremy Creek. This is salt water, wild water, and it just flows through them. The boxes that they're in have mesh on the bottoms so that the water flows through, and they're just growing wonderfully in this environment.
When did you get the seedlings from Florida? How long ago?
We got them in mid-August.
Mid-August, okay.
Yeah, so these are about 2.5 months.
Okay.
And really they're ready to go. We just have to stage taking them out in the boat because you know, you can only fit so many in your boat. And so we put them in these cages on the bottom. Some people do floating cages, but we've been pretty successful with bottom planning.
Well, it was time to leave McClennanville. It had been a wonderful stop, great people. What a great place to hang out for a few days. Well, we were also treated to some beautiful weather on the ICW as we headed on south for our next stop, which was Charleston and the end point of Hutch's trip with me. A warm welcome awaited us at Safe Harbor, Charleston City. It was great to be back in Charleston. I've been there many times and love the southern hospitality.
Honey, ginger, soy sauce, and soon to be a bunch of garlic. Too bad that thing doesn't smell. Maybe. Yeah, that's good. Might have undercooked the rice a little bit. You know, for me, it's the Last Supper.
So this is to Hutch's last supper. Hutch has been on board for a week. It's been amazing.
Very, very
Cheers
fine.
on a tall beer
To the goose.
and box wine to the goose. And Hutch has been great at the wheel, in the wheelhouse, helping me steer the boat, ashore on the bike, exploring, and of course he's the maestro in the galley. Thank you. Cheers. One more cheer.
One more cheers.
To the tall beer.
Deep pleasure.
Yeah.
Love to be
thank
here.
you.